Hello, my name is Amira Tai, and I'll be discussing the 10-point program written by the Black Panther Party. Before diving into their declaration, we must look at the background of the Black Panther Party themselves. Founded in Oakland, California in 1966, the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense formed due to the dissatisfaction with current progress within the civil rights movement. The most notable approach during this era was a nonviolent movement led by Martin Luther King Jr., and many Black Americans found this method was not leading to the change they found necessary to obtain social justice. Additionally, many nonviolent protesters became victims of police brutality or acts of violence. As a result, the Black Panther Party undertook methods including self-arming, socialism, and Black nationalism. While controversial both then and now, these methods acted as an instrument to engage Black communities in support and protection of each other. Some of the survival programs that were created included free breakfast for children, free groceries, free health clinic services, legal aid, and safe transportation services for seniors. As you can see, there was a huge emphasis on the community coming together to help uplift one another. This seemed to be the basis for their philosophy, changing American society from the inside out through community. These 10 points acted as a platform for the movement's philosophy. Originally written in 1966 and later revised in 1962, this declaration was written to clearly point out to both members and greater American society what rights were demanded. This was during a time of much dissent between Black Americans and the government, and this served as a clear indicator of what was necessary to reach equality. In summary, the 10-point program was built under the ideal to ensure all people the ability to survive within the country. As seen in points 4 and 6, where they state that free healthcare and access to safe housing is necessary for survival. Additionally, the platform saw equal opportunity for oppressed people as necessary. Points 2, 5, and 9 all talk about equal opportunities within employment, education, and the legal systems. All of these demands ensure safety and protections for individuals regardless of race, but particularly for Black Americans. Additionally, the 10th point of this program is an excerpt from the American Declaration of Independence, stating all citizens have unalienable rights and that if these rights are affected, the people have the ability to foster change. The U.S. government, of course, reacted very poorly to the Black Panther Party's approach within the civil rights movement and named them a threat to the country rather than hearing their demands. This reaction is both obvious and shocking to me. It is obvious due to the prejudiced history of the country. However, it is rather shocking as the Black Panther Party reflected the same methods and ideals used by the Founding Fathers within their Declaration of Independence from Great Britain. Both documents were a declaration of needs by the people of what they needed from their government. The only difference is that the U.S. is founded on the idea that, if necessary, radical government change is absolutely warranted. However, when the people spoke, the U.S. government did not listen. Now I'll discuss how the Black Panther Party's 10-point program connects to philosophical theories that we discussed in our class. The Black Panther Party almost sees the United States government as an entity similar to Hobbes' absolute authority. However, in their eyes, this system is deeply flawed. To Hobbes, we escape a state of nature in order to ensure peace and prevent a state of war. We are all fearful of one another, and as a result, we give up our freedom to the absolute authority that establishes a peace that ensures our safety. The Black Panther Party views the U.S. as this absolute authority promising peace, but comes up very short. The Black Panther Party seems to also agree that we are fearful of one another, but rather as a result of this flawed authority. I think this is one reason they have such a strong emphasis on community measures. While the U.S. is a democratic state, the Black Panther Party understands the power struggle between low socioeconomic Americans and high-ranking politicians. However, Hobbes still views this inequality as just as long as it is maintaining the peace. To Hobbes, a valid social contract is that of signing yourself to slavery in order to prevent being murdered. The Black Panther Party disagrees highly with this and believes in everyone's right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. However, in the eyes of the Black Panther Party, the U.S. government is the one preventing this unalienable right and thus needs to be changed. While Hobbes believes the safety of its people is enough, the Black Panther Party believes it is a duty of the government to meet certain rights. The Black Panther Party seems to be in much more agreement with Rousseau's ideal society, wherein we give up aspects of our freedom for the greater good. The Black Panther Party was incredibly community-oriented, providing many social and survival services to others in order to help as many people as possible. In turn, many individuals gave up aspects of their freedom, including their time, money, and for some, their own lives. Additionally, they pushed heavily for the change from natural freedom, such as being able to do what one wants, to general freedom. However, one disagreement between Rousseau and the Black Panther Party is their concern with the law. Rousseau states that since people make the laws must be just. However, the Black Panther Party was fighting for radical reform within the U.S. society and its laws. They understood that the laws worked for some people, mainly wealthy white businessmen. However, it oppressed many other people and thus called for change. The 19th century saw much change within the West, with many groups calling to be provided the same rights as others. The Black Panther Party seems to have drawn from many of Wollstonecraft's points from her vindication of the rights of women. One point that sticks out is her push to have equal education. She states that by refraining from equal access and education for both men and women, you maintain the false idea that men are more reasonable than women. During this era, however, an educated man was taught his information, whereas a woman had to observe it. Like Wollstonecraft, the Black Panther Party understood how vital it was to have an educated people in order to fight for their needs. Wollstonecraft stated, "The most perfect education is such an exercise of the understanding as is best calculated to strengthen the body and form the heart," or, in other words, to enable the individual to attach such habits of virtue as will render it independent. We can directly see this reflected in the 5th point of the 10-point program in the line, "We believe in an educational system that will give to our people a knowledge of self." With this strengthening of heart and knowledge of self, one can reasonably advocate for themselves and call for what is necessary to change. The Black Panther Party grew out of an era defined by turmoil and various movements calling for peace. While they did not last very long, their ideas still persist through society today, with more community-oriented projects in society and the push for the end of oppression to many groups. However, that all leaves me with the question. In an age where we are still fighting for oppressed groups, how can we continue this fight for the goals once outlined by the Black Panther Party almost 60 years ago? Thank you for listening.